Hi, friends. Welcome to the Mastermind Moments podcast.
Hosted by your pals, Josh and Sasha.
Join us during our weekly mastermind as we collaborate on how to make the most out of our lives.
Not only are we going to mastermind our careers, we're going to work on all areas of life together.
Let's do it. Listen in as we make the most of our mastermind moments.
Hello,
Hello,
howdy.
good morning,
How
good
are you?
evening. Good. How are you?
I'm great. Yeah, good evening for me, good morning for you. For everyone who is at home listening, poor Josh woke up at the crack of dawn this morning to record with me, and I sent him a text. I'm like, I might not make it because I'm hanging out with people. And then last minute, I was like, just kidding, I'm going to make it.
Yeah. Good
So,
news.
thanks
Good
for
news.
bearing with me.
But I think we tried this once before, recording my early time, your late time, and the recording stopped after 20 minutes, didn't it? So it was all in vain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think we tried it another time after
I
that,
think we
no? I
did
can't
try it another
remember. Maybe
time,
last week?
and I didn't wake up, if you remember. And then we recorded that evening
Right,
instead.
right,
So yeah,
right.
I'm awake.
But
I'm
here we
awake.
are. You woke up
Exactly.
early. It's a good step. It's a good step to getting on
It
your
is. It
grind
has been happening. So yeah, we can we can talk about that again for the 27th millionth episode.
again. Well, this is Mastermind Moments, I think 24. So probably for the last 24 episodes has been the same shit over and over again. I hope you guys listening at home don't mind us giving each other shit about the same things over and over and over again. I feel like we must talk about different
Of course,
stuff, no?
there's always different stuff that's getting in the way and different stuff that we're working on and different bits of wisdom. But yeah, no, I definitely sound a bit like a broken record, so that's for sure.
I'm sure I do too. It's like constantly me being hard on yourself, me being hard on myself, you like saying you know what you need to do, but you just have to do it.
Yeah.
It's that over and over
It
again.
is, and not taking action. It is the story of my life, unfortunately, but I'll get there one day. Right,
It was
sure,
the story of your
why
life.
not?
It sure is. No, it's pretty crazy. We have been doing this now for 24 episodes, which is so wild. We actually got to get these voice messages going back because I think people were enjoying them. So if anyone's been listening and want us to mastermind something in your life, send us a message and we'll get a voice message going and
Yeah,
we'll help you
I think we
mastermind
definitely need
some
to
shit.
get that going again because I think that was a really good of the episodes that we were doing. And I get a lot of messages, people who've been saying, I've been listening to the podcast, love it. So I think we should definitely encourage some viewers, some listeners to message in.
I put it on our list of things to do. So currently, right now, I'm in a hostel. And first of all, this hostel, freaking sick. Okay. It's awesome. And I'm in a quiet pod. And literally on the outside of the pod, it's things to do in this pod. Call your mom, star in your own
Oh,
podcast. And
no
I'm
way.
like, it's me. Yeah. So like I'm in a quiet booth right now. And there's literally a party going on my left. On my right, there's like a tattoo situation and a barber. Like it's a cool hostel. Like I'm into
Wow.
it. It's
Where are
clean.
you?
Like it's awesome. Yeah. I am in
Cool.
Auckland, New
Nice. Do you
Zealand
like
right
it?
now. I leave the city like the city's fine. Like it's not real and everyone says that. Like New Zealand's the most gorgeous country, but Auckland itself it's not a great city. Like it's cool, but it's not like great. But I've been really enjoying my time around New Zealand in general. Like it's such a beautiful country. Everything looks like a fucking postcard. Like it's awesome. I leave to go back to the States the day after tomorrow. No. Yeah, the day after tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm doing like the whole
Of
Hobbiton
course.
thing. And then the next day, I was going to leave tomorrow and the day after for spontaneity. And then I just couldn't. I couldn't leave tomorrow for spontaneity. I like had to book something. I had to book a tour. And I'll leave the last day for spontaneity.
So what are you? Okay, that's fun. That's
Uh,
fun. I would love to go back to New Zealand.
yeah.
But you're right, absolutely right. You don't go to New Zealand for the big city, do you? You go for the nature side of things and the rural. It's such a beautiful, beautiful country.
Yeah, it's so stunning. It's gorgeous. There's so much to see. I've only been here, it'll be 12 days that I'm in New Zealand, which is not nearly enough time, but I could say the same thing about Australia. I spent a month there, not nearly enough time. There's so much I would want to do if I came back, but I'm really happy with what I've done. And I've jam-packed all of my days. I've been like getting up at 5 a.m., working, and then doing like tours and stuff. And I've met so many solo female travelers. It's actually been insane. I went out for dinner with, on my tour today, there were 4 other solo
Wow.
female travelers.
Nice.
Yeah. And so went out for dinner with one of them who's out, happened to be staying in my hostel. And it's been really cool, like connecting with this like community of girls who or like women who just are uprooting their lives and traveling, and some of them are for like a vacation and some of them are for like indefinitely. And a meeting, it's like ladies under 35 and then over
Wow, I
60.
was going to ask about the age groups because from my knowledge or experience of traveling, when you get people traveling around like Australia and New Zealand, they tend to either be really, really young, like I'm talking sort of 18 to 21, or they tend to be in their 30s. But that sounds like you're getting a good mix there.
Yeah, I'd say like the youngest I've
Oh,
connected with has
wow.
been like
Okay.
24. Yeah, 24 to 33 and then over 60, like retired women who are either just like leaving their husbands at home or like whatever. They're just going on their own journey, which has been really cool to just connect with other women who are traveling by themselves. It's really empowering. I feel like we're taking over, which is really cool. But I do feel, oh, dude, I feel stressed about not knowing where I'm going after
Okay.
Salt Lake.
Why?
Like, I feel stressed because I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing. And the type A in me is just, I need to know the plan. I need to know what's happening, especially since I think it's more because I think I have something. I'm going to visit our friends, Katie and Valeria, for Mardi Gras beginning of March, and I want to be able to book my flight there, but I don't know where I'm coming
Okay.
from. And also, I just like, don't know what I'm going to do. There are like so many options, and I just feel really, really stressed about the whole thing. Like, Dr. Leprechaun has invited me to come to Tampa for a couple of days, but I'm like, I don't really want to fly
No.
across the country for 3
So
days.
are you wanting to leave the country or do something within the US?
I think I might like right now I'm leaning towards staying on the West Coast and just like either snowboarding or like I have so many hosts around the West Coast. I've never
Oh,
been up to Vancouver.
nice.
I hear
Yeah.
Vancouver's really cool, but it's also like winter and
Yeah, it'll
fucking
be
cold and
fucking
I'm
cold
like,
this time of year.
I don't know. Yeah, it's fucking cold. So it's maybe I'm just snowboarding for a while or like doing all of that for a couple of weeks before I go out to Mardi Gras. And then I had my rhinoplasty appointment too
Oh,
to
okay.
get my virtual appointment. And yeah, so I haven't scheduled that yet because the surgeon quoted us way more than we were expecting, especially since it's like a
Right.
friend of a friend. Um, but it's like all of these things are just like some things feel like they're falling into place. Like Burning Man tickets come out next week, and Alex Cooper's doing a thing in Miami, and just like all of these things are falling into place, but the other things like don't feel like they are. And the not knowing aspect of it is very, very
Yeah,
stressful for me.
that's understandable. And especially if you want to book the trip to Mardi Gras, can't yet because you don't know where you're going to be coming from. But I think you know you're going to be somewhere, right? And you know that in that time you're going to be having a great time wherever you are. You don't need
Yeah.
to know where you are yet. But I
Yeah.
think also, I mean, when are you going to Salt Lake?
I literally leave
Okay,
the day
so really
after
soon.
tomorrow.
So I mean, yeah.
I have 10
So I
days
guess you
there.
should be looking at booking something, but there really isn't time constraint.
But also,
It,
like, I could
it
book it the
exactly.
day
And
if I
who
want.
knows when you're in Salt Lake, you may get ideas. You may meet someone, you may get talking to someone who will invite you somewhere or give you an idea.
I'm going to
Exactly,
this festival.
exactly.
Like,
So, I
people,
think you
yeah.
I know it's hard. I know it's hard. I've been there before to embrace the uncertainty and to allow yourself to just step into that and yeah, but you have to, and you will enjoy it. And I feel like you've done that a fair amount on this trip, right? Where you've had to, and I know you've planned
I,
a lot, but you have also,
I planned
of
so
course,
much of
but
this
you have
leg.
also
Yeah.
had to embrace the uncertainty at times. And would you say that you've done that, and would
Yeah.
you say that you've enjoyed it?
Yes and no. I've embraced uncertainty in some ways. If, as far as the planning goes, no. Like, I have known for the most part where I'm gonna where I'm gonna be date wise and stay, like where I'm gonna be, like flights and accommodations have pretty much been booked, not all the way out. Like New Zealand, I booked where I was gonna be flying and my accommodations like 2 days before I left. So it's like I'm getting better and better at having less and less time to plan things, but like Australia was planned. Like I knew where I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew where I was going and like where I was staying. And I think it's like my tolerance for uncertainty is getting bigger and bigger, but it is like a muscle and it's like growing pains. It is a lot of growing pains. It's a lot of stress. And I'm like learning how to deal with that and learning how to just like surrender to the experience, flow in the moment, be okay with that. But it is something I'm like
Yeah,
dealing with right
of
now for
course. And
sure.
I think that we always knew that that was going to be a
Yeah.
big part of this year, and it's something that you do need to get used to. And it's very early days, right? You're only, what, just over a month into your travels, so you can't be too harsh on
Yes.
yourself, as always. But you do need to embrace it, and you will get there. You will. I used to really, really struggle with my certainty versus uncertainty. I used to absolutely crave certainty, be crippled by it in every area of my life. And then there was one day I just realized that it wasn't actually serving me. It wasn't doing me any good. It was causing me anxiety. It was causing me stress. Because I needed that certainty the whole time. And so I literally just one day made a switch and I decided that I'm going to chase uncertainty. I'm going to chase discomfort and step out of my comfort zone, do uncomfortable things, and allow myself to just not have to plan everything. And it took time. It did take time, but I would say that actually uncertainty is one of my top needs now, possibly over certainty now, when uncertainty used to be rock bottom. So it does take time, but you will get there.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just building up my tolerance for it. It's like building a muscle and it's something I'm going through right now and your words
Exactly.
are very helpful. But yeah,
Building up a
it's
muscle is exactly
challenging.
what it is. Just like with anything new that you're trying to do in life or any changes you're trying to make, it is building up a muscle, which I sound like such a hypocrite because I know that there's muscles that I need to be building as well, but I don't do it. But I can talk from experience with the uncertainty thing that it takes time and as you say, it's
Yeah.
building up a muscle and you will get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's really I miss talking to you, dude. It really it just sets my life right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Me too. Me too. I said to
I
yeah,
always
well,
feel
you
way
know how
better.
I mean
Yeah, go
last
ahead.
week
Say
or
it.
recently I've been in a very rough place. And I said to Savita after we spoke last week, I was like, because that day was probably the worst that I felt in years, that specific day. To the point where I was like very close on
Yeah.
canceling because I was like, I cannot make conversation right now. Like my head is just so frazzled. And I said to Savita after our call, I was like, I just feel like every every feeling, every negative emotion was just removed. Like I just suddenly felt so much better. I think I told you that, didn't I? I told you something like that, right? Um,
You did.
yeah,
You did, but say it publicly.
exactly. So yeah, yeah, I do miss talking to you, and well, I say miss, I mean we still do it, what, at least once a week, right? But we do miss out.
At least once
Exactly,
a
we
week, but
do
it's
miss
not as
out on the
much.
texting and stuff. I guess it's so hard with time difference as well. I know when I was trying to
Yeah.
keep in touch with my friends that I made in Australia, but also people like Heather and Craig after Gills, it's impossible. It's so hard because you can't really FaceTime. There's been phases where my sister and my mum have both moved to Australia for extended periods of time, and I just didn't speak to them in that time because it's hard because you're what, 11 hours
Yeah.
ahead, right? So you're pretty much just
Something
like
like
day and
that.
night.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, day and night basically. But it's also just I think it was the routine. Like I had a routine of when I talked to you every week, when I sent you the voice messages every week because I was in that certainty was in that routine and now my routine is just out the fucking window, which is like the furthest thing from my comfort zone ever. Um and so like missing out on that routine, where was I? I was with Mr. Melbourne in Melbourne and he and I were smoking up and I was telling him I was like, "Oh, this is it was like a Friday. We smoked up and I was like, "Oh man, this is when I would message Josh." I was like, "I have to message Josh. I just this is like when I talk to him. This is like our time. And I just, because I was so present in what I was doing and so present in my travels and with my host, I just didn't do that. And then there was another night that I smoked, which, oh my God, I have to tell you that story, but I mean, I could say it publicly, but it's like a whole thing where I would normally send you a voice message. And instead, I'm going to be really embarrassed right now. Okay. I'm going to just be honest though. Instead, I sent Dr. Leprechaun a 30-minute voice
You
message.
could have sent it to me.
And I was like, I know. And literally half of that message was me telling him, like, oh, normally I'd be sending Josh a message. Why am I talking to you? Why
Oh
am I
my God,
talking
I've
to
been
you?
replaced. That's so
Actually,
sad.
you have not been replaced. You have not been replaced, but it actually hurt me. I'm like, this is normally when I talk to Josh. Why am I like automatically going? We can get into the whole romantic entanglement thing, but regardless, let's spin a wheel. Finances. How do you balance spending on experiences and luxuries versus saving for the future?
Yeah,
What do you think?
so last year I really struggled with that actually. And I really focused on having fun last year instead of saving. And because of the nature of my job and because of the nature of me moving, buying a place, and the whole issue with the tax thing, which we won't get into anymore because that's the thing of the past. Um, I really struggled with saving, and I focused so much on. I mean, I went to accounted. I don't know if I told you this, but I went to 38 raves last year, which is a lot of money because that's not just raves, like it's festivals. They probably cost at least $60-$70 each, and the festivals we're talking hundreds of dollars each. So it was an expensive year, and I didn't hold back. Every single thing that I wanted to go to, I would book, and I had fun, and I don't really regret it. But it means that I have this at the start of this year blasted through a lot of my savings that were already blasted because I bought this place and because of the tax thing. So I've basically started this year afresh, and I've had to start with a new mindset when it comes to money and saving. And I'm on a roll. Like I've really been, I've got a very strict budgeting system, which we've discussed before, whereby at the start of the month,
Mhm.
I will calculate how much I'm due to get paid with my commission, with my salary, everything. And then I split it between however many days until I'm going to next get paid. So 30 days, this month is 35
Okay.
days. And that gives me a daily budget. And I mean, there's a whole thing about I know exactly what my monthly outgoings are, my sort of set monthly outgoings. So I note those down, I take it off the
Yeah.
total, and then I divide that by however many days. And then I know
Okay.
what my daily budget is. So basically my daily money that I can spend on whatever I want to have fun. And sometimes that's going to be particularly low. And this month I've actually done really well. I've managed to save a lot. I've managed to hold back on spending a lot, which means that for next month I can allow myself to have loads of fun. I've already booked a couple of things. I'm looking at booking a couple of trips. It's, well,
Right.
of course, Burning Man is definitely a consideration with my saving at the moment, but I'm really building it up again, and I'm sticking all of my money into investments. But because of this budgeting system, I have a specific budget as to where I can spend on having fun now. And it means that I'm not going to go overboard and I'm still going to
Right.
have enough money to save, but I make sure that I do have that money where I can go, right, I'm going to go and have a great time this weekend.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Do you have like an automated system or are you just like doing it?
Automated would be good. I don't really know how I could do that. I guess it could be if I was a whiz on Excel or something, I could probably figure it out. But
There are
really,
apps for that,
okay.
bro. There are apps for it. Yeah, I
Quicken.
use
Okay.
Quicken. QUI. Yeah, not a plug, everybody, but I use Quicken, Quicken. You link up your accounts and it helps you see what you're spending where, helps you with budgeting, things like that. So yeah, like definitely there are apps for that where you can be more mindful and actually have it in your face rather than just
Okay.
doing it
That's really
mentally and
interesting. I
estimating.
almost every day I will adjust it. So if I spend a lot on a particular day, I will adjust my budget and I'll do all my calculations a few times throughout the day because, well, that's a certainty thing. That's a certainty issue. I need that certainty that I know my numbers. So, yeah, I do spend a fair amount of time running different calculations and stuff. And it doesn't take long every time I do it, but it would help to have it automated for sure. So quicken.
Automate
Okay.
that shit. Automate that shit, dude. Make it your homework. Do it now, bruh. Or do it, just at least write it down or look it up. There's
And
so
that's
many
like a
apps for
mobile
it.
app.
So many.
Okay.
Yeah. Mobile app and online thing. There's a girl getting a tattoo right now.
Man, I miss
Like
I
right
miss
over there.
hostels.
That's so good. This is a nice hostel, like award winning something. And it's awesome. I've gotten the best sleep of the entire month in my freaking
Really?
pod. Yes. The first time I got a little crown on my aura
Wow.
ring since I've left the United
Wow.
States was 2
Nice.
nights ago.
That's
Yes.
I can't say I've really
Yeah.
ever got a particularly good night's sleep in a hostel. So that's impressive.
It's a really nice hostel. It's called Lilo, Lylo, another plug for anyone who's traveling, specifically, I think New Zealand, Australia. It's a really, really great hostel chain. It's incredible. As far as like how I manage all of this, I do automate actually, and I think that helps a lot. Tony Robbins at Life and Wealth, I learned this thing called PYF, pay yourself first. So 25% of my paycheck automatically comes out of everything, even though I don't do it at all. Like I have it in my like payment thing for work that 75% goes here, like 5% goes here, 3% goes here, and everything is allocated automatically without me touching it. So it's like that's already 25% off the top that I'm saving, investing, going towards things. And I separate that into a bunch of different things like investments. I have this thing called a fund where it's like I just throw a little bit of money in there. And when I want to blow a stupid amount of money on like shoes or what, like something fun and ridiculous, like I can just do that guilt free. Now that I'm not paying for rent, I basically just had to keep my credit card amount underneath the amount that I'm spending or the amount that I make, which is honestly pretty easy. I've been staying with friends and family, and I think that's been like very, very helpful. But this year, I was talking to my dad about it. He's just keep your credit card under what you spend, which you do anyway. You'll be fine. You're like very cautious spender. But if you go over a little bit this year, it's okay. You have so much in savings. You have like funds set up for this, and you're never going to regret the experiences that you're going to have this year. You're likely never going to do something like this again. Or if you do, it's not going to be for a long time. Just have the experiences. And honestly, I think this is something I've like really learned hardcore. It's okay to spend the money. Like it's okay to spend the money. It's okay to drop the money on the tour. It's okay to do whatever. Like I've been feeling, this is something I have learned in the last month, is just to let go of worry of the money, because I'm spending within my means and I'm still having a great time. And I'm balancing the experiences with whatever just by like automatically paying myself 25% off the top, automatically going to everything. And then the rest is
Yeah.
whatever I want to buy, like flights, accommodations, travel, experiences, barely buying food. I mean, I'll buy like one meal a day, maybe two. Like today I bought more than usual because I went out for dinner and I bought lunch and a coffee. But for the most part, I'm like just buying one meal a day. Basically, I'm like
Yeah.
not eating too much, or my tour will include lunch or
Okay.
something, like
Yeah.
whatever.
That's and on that note, on the eating note, how has your movement, your exercise been this week?
Okay, so this week since we've talked, when did we talk last? Did we
It
talk
was
in
pretty much, yeah, maybe, yeah,
Christchurch? We talked
yeah, I
in
think it was like
Christchurch, I
last
think.
Monday we spoke. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay, so since then, the movement's been really good. I got to the gym. I went to the gym. I got my first workout in a month today. And honestly, I've been way more conscious about being active just in my travels. Like today, there was a walk, and I was like, this is basically a hike, so this counts. And even like in my time in Queenstown, I would literally just stop and do squats, or I'd stop and do push-ups like randomly. And it was funny, guys. Like you guys didn't see it who were listening to this podcast, but after Josh and I stopped recording, we both got down and did 10 push. And the meditation game has been good too. Not great. I think I meditated Since we've spoken, which might have been about a week ago, I think I've meditated 3 to 4 times,
Pretty
which,
good.
like,
I mean,
not
it's a good
bad.
start. And would you say that you felt the benefits
Yeah.
of it from those 3, 4 times? Okay. So then you need to do it more.
No. Yeah, yeah. I think it's a daily thing. I think, like, getting some sort of app, like, reminder situation, like, not a reminder, it's like, "Meditate daily," like, maybe, like, on my Duolingo, you know how I see
Yeah.
the number go up every day? Maybe it's something
Mm,
like that where it's, like, the number goes up every day when I meditate or when I move, and just even if it's just, like, 10 squats, 10 push-ups, and then 100, like, Russian twists, whatever, like, that is fine. How have you been doing with the
okay.
movement?
I haven't done as rigorous exercise as I would like to, but I've been making sure that I go out and walk every day, which I think is a good start. I haven't been exactly glowing exercise, if that makes sense, out of breath, but I've been
Yeah.
going on nice walks. You know, the weather hasn't been great here, but we've had a few days of nice sun and blue skies, even if it's still cold. So I've been making sure to get out and go for a nice long walk during my lunch break, which it definitely helped. I was feeling really, really incredibly, I want to say last Friday or yeah, towards the end of last week. And the sun was shining, beautiful day. So I went for a walk to get some lunch. And then I took my food and I just sat on my local common, like local park for over an hour, and I felt so much better just from being outdoors, just from breathing air and soaking in the sun, which is so rare that we get here at this time of year. So yeah, movement hasn't been great. I want to start going for runs. I need to join a new gym. I still haven't done that. So I want to get on that. Um, this week, really. I think that's going to be the next step for me is really important because I think it will make a big difference. But yeah, it
Okay.
hasn't been ideal. I played football once, as I already always do, but yeah, not particularly rigorous exercise.
I'm gonna write down our homework because so you need to, like, automate app for your finances, join gym. Are you using that
Yeah, I have
sunshine
been
light
this
that I
week. I
got you
have
or
since we
no?
last spoke. I finally moved it over from my
Okay, good.
mum's. I think because for a large part of the year, like when I moved here, the weather was nice, and then we had the summer, and it was fine. So I just never actually moved it over. And then we got into winter, and I was like, I guess I forgot about it pretty much. But yeah, I've been using it. It does
Yeah.
help. It's not the same as authentic sunlight on your face, but it definitely makes a difference to my mood. So yeah, thank you for that. That honestly, when you sent that to me before and I started using it, it was such a lifesaver. Like my mood instantly was boosted. Every time I turned it on, like I just felt the serotonin, the vitamin D flooding through me, and so yeah, that was a good gift.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, just use it, bruh.
Yeah,
Use
yeah,
it.
I know. Well, I am
You know what
now.
I'm
I
saying?
am now. I think the only reason I wasn't, as I said, is because it wasn't here,
Good.
but it is now.
Okay, great. Excellent. What else has been happening with you? I know you've been saying you've been in a not in a great place. You've been like getting outside a little bit, moving a little bit, which has been better. The lamp has been helping. And then on top of that, something I think we should dive into is we just talked about at the beginning of the episode where you're constantly saying that you know what you need to do and you know what action you need to take, but then you're not taking it. I think what is that resistance there? We need to get to the bottom of this and break this fucking pattern because it's literally been like 24 weeks of sometimes you do it, but then sometimes you go back to your old shit and it's
Yeah,
what's
I
happening.
don't
You know
know.
what I
I
mean?
don't know. It's a theme throughout my life, and I think a big issue for me now, and I said this at the start of the year, is that I have these big goals, right? And this is 2025. This is, one of my last years, the second last year before my 30s, which is scary. And I feel I got myself so hyped for this year, and not just hyped, but I made very actionable, small steps to achieve my goals. And in January, I didn't even begin. I didn't even get started on any of it, really. There were certain things like the sobriety, like not drinking, that I managed to do, no drugs. There are a whole host of things that I did get started on. But in terms of actionable steps to work on my goals for this year, I didn't do. And
Yeah.
what really scared me coming into this year, and I was saying this for, I probably said it to you, if I was saying it to everyone, if I don't actually knuckle down and get shit done this year, I'm quite scared about what that will do to my mental state, because this is the first year. I mean, every year I have these big goals and I get excited, but this is the first year where I've actually had like a blueprint to make it happen, and a very actionable blueprint.
Yeah.
So if I'm not able to get
Yeah.
it done this year, am I ever going to get it done? And then I'm just going to be stuck in this same position, this same rut that I have been in for however many years, the last kind of 5, 6 years, doing something I don't enjoy. I'll struggle to start a family because I'm doing something I don't enjoy and I'm not earning enough money from. And I think after January and not taking any action at all, I'm already starting to see it take its toll on my mental health. I'm beating myself up so much, thinking I'm going to be stuck in this rut forever because I just can't get it done. I'm just not getting it done. And I tell myself, right, tomorrow's the day. I'll see a motivational video on YouTube. I'll have a motivational conversation with you or with Savita. And I'm like, right, tomorrow's the day. Set my alarm for 5:59. I'm waking up at 5 a.m. I'm a 5 a.m. boy now. And then my alarm goes off and I'm like, nah, I want to sleep. Again, days like today where I've woken up early, not quite as early as 5 a.m., but early, um, have proven to me that I can do it, and that I it's not hard
Yeah.
at all. It's no different to waking up an hour or two later. But there is,
Yeah.
I think right now it's become even harder. I saw a quote yesterday actually that really resonated with me. If I can get it right, this might take a couple of attempts, but it was something like, getting on the wrong train is fine, but if you stay on it too long, it will be more expensive to get back to your destination, right? And the guy was actually on a train. It was a video that I saw, and he was on a train and then eating an ice cream, but that's not relevant. So for me, what that meant is I have been on this wrong path with my career, with my life, with my mentality for years now, right? And the longer I've spent on that path, the more comfortable I've become, and the bigger toll it's taken on my mentality and on my mental health. And now, especially now,
Yeah.
right now in this position that I'm currently in mentally, it is so hard to get back to that original destination so I can get back on track, because I'm in like a hole right now and I'm so far from home that is really hard to get back on it. And the more expensive part, the more expensive it is to get back to your original destination. For me, that's the mental toll. Because I'm so far away from where I need to be mentally, because I've become so comfortable and so conditioned in this current condition that I'm finding it really hard to shift that mentality and to tell myself these new stories, if that makes sense.
It does. I also just want to acknowledge the fact that, yes, you're feeling that way and you're feeling like you're not taking any action and you're not doing anything. But I do want to acknowledge the fact that, like, part of that, sure, there are these things that you want to achieve and things you want to do, and you haven't made any actionable steps towards them. But let's also acknowledge the fact that you have achieved things in January. You did
Yeah.
not drink at all, which was a huge accomplishment. You did not do any vices, which, again, huge accomplishment. Huge accomplishment. And that's something to celebrate. Don't just write off that you haven't done anything. You have done stuff and you have absolutely made progress. And those are things to celebrate. And those are things to be excited about and to pat yourself on the back for, because it's like, of course, if you're beating yourself up, oh, listen, who knows it better than me? Who knows it better than fucking me? If you're beating yourself up over and over and over again, of course it's difficult to like get your shit done, because then you start to tell yourself the negative beliefs that you have in your head about, oh, I can't do this. Oh, this is the story of my life. And you're saying these limiting beliefs now. You're like, this is just the story of my life. I always do this, blah, blah, blah. It's complete bullshit. It's complete bullshit, because you do these other things like not drinking, no vices, that you did successfully, but there's no pats on the back. So obviously, if you're beating yourself up and telling yourself, oh, I can't do this, or this is the story of my life, or blah, 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 or I'm in this rut, I can't get out, like, me not doing this means I'm not going to be able to provide for my family. Like, you're telling yourself all these stories that are digging you deeper and deeper and deeper into the hole. as opposed to
Yeah.
focusing on the shit you have done. And listen, like being hard on yourself, I'm the queen of it. Okay. I'm the queen of beating myself up and putting myself in the hole. And that happens. That fucking happens. Everyone's gonna have a hard day. Everyone's gonna have a hard rut. Everyone's gonna have that, and it does impact your mental health in a negative way. But you're pushing yourself further into that hole. And we acknowledged it last week. I want to acknowledge it this week. This always happens to you in the winter. This always happens to you in the winter. You always go through a really, really tough time in the winter. And it's like, I wonder how much better you would feel if you literally got somewhere warm and did like a remote work retreat for yourself somewhere warm for a week. Like, I bet you it would
help drastically.
drastically.
And then the issue is having to come back to the bad weather, right? I mean, it is a real issue, the seasonal depression. Well, I hate calling it that. I hate using the word depression because I just don't. I mean, I said last week that I think I could be depressed right now, and that's why I'm struggling so hard to get out of this state. But I don't like the word depression because it puts a label on something that really is something I could change in a heartbeat. And just like you were saying with these limiting beliefs that I keep telling myself that I'm not doing this, I can't do that. The more I think that and say that, it scares me because I'm like this, I'm ingraining this into my brain. And am I ever going to be able to change that mentality? If I keep telling myself these things, it's going to manifest itself.
Literally is manifesting itself. And you just said that 10 minutes ago where you're like, it's already been a month and I already feel myself slipping into it. You're like already putting yourself there. And then also you're like zooming out and you're going like, oh, if I don't do it this year, the rest of my life is fucked up. Which, first of all, that's a fucking lie. That's a fucking lie. Like, people start successful businesses at 40. People like have career changes halfway at like 50 or whatever. Like, you have your entire life. Life is long. Just if you don't do something this year, which, by the way, you're going to, because that's literally my whole job as your best friend and also your accountability partner and also as your mastermind partner is to make sure that you do, because we're in this together and you're going to do it. But even if you don't, your whole life's not over. It's not gonna fuck up your whole mental state. I promise you, you will listen back on this recording in however many months when it's summer and happy and jolly, and you're gonna be like, oh shit, I'm great.
Its interest will come out when the weather is better here, and it will be very interesting to listen back to absolute shit show that I was at the start of the year when the weather is better, and I'm like, wow, it really is just seasonal. It really is just the shitty English weather. Every time I step out into the sun, I feel better. The other day when I stepped out, I spent an hour just I wasn't on my phone. I just sat there with the sun glaring on my face, with my eyes closed, eyes open, just thinking about nothing, being mindful with the sun on my face.
Yeah.
But I also, interestingly, I took a hot bath the other day because of my neck and the slip disc, which is a lot better now.
Yeah.
But I took like a hot bath to try and relax all the muscles, and I hate heat in baths. Like I prefer cold showers. I'm not a hot water person at all. But my chiropractor told me that was something that would help. So I did it, and I closed my eyes, and my mind automatically jumped sitting on a sunbed in Dubai or Miami or California, and it just felt so nice. It felt like the sun or the heat was glaring on me, even though it was just hot water. And I just felt good. Like, I just felt nice. I felt, and it really is such an eye opener. And I've spoken to Savita about, I can't stay in London for the rest of my life because I cannot deal with this weather. I've spent most of my life here, but I still haven't got used to it. I don't understand how Finland is technically like the happiest country in the world. And I went there, I've been there twice, and it's miserable. It's grey. It's worse than the UK. Finland's great. It's a beautiful country, but it's grey, and I don't understand how they're so happy. How can you be that happy without sun for most of your year? So I've spoken to Savita, and she doesn't want to stay in London anyway, long term. So, maybe I'll end up moving to India.
Seriously. No, let's move. No, I mean, sure,
No.
fine, move to India. But I am saying, like, no, Josh, we have to live on a compound. I'm telling you. We have to like either have houses in the same neighborhood or like a big piece of land. It's somewhere warm.
India.
Like, My vote and bruh, bruh. No, we're gonna do Florida or San
Oh my
Diego.
God, San Diego would be the dream. I mean, Florida, I would love Florida as well. I'm a big fan of the south of Florida, so
Yeah, I'm serious. Like Florida or San Diego, and I like. I don't want to talk about it publicly, but I'll send you a private message about it because we're not the only ones who are doing this living close to friends idea. And I think we should start to actually think about this long term and prioritize it because there are other, I don't know. I'm not trying to plan my future with
oh,
anybody,
okay,
but
right.
I'm just saying we're not the only
Okay.
friends that like
Okay.
want to do
No, right.
this.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I think it's yeah, definitely.
We'll
I
talk
like
about
the
it.
idea. I've always liked the idea. But yeah, sun, good weather. It will be interesting, and that's I love these episodes and being able to listen back to them because it makes me realize, wow, I said I was going to do that and I never fucking did it. Um, 20 times or however many episodes we've released now, but it's interesting, and it will be interesting to listen back in the summer because we haven't had a winter really since we've been recording. We started recording in the summer, so
Yeah,
the episodes that are
we
being
started in
released
July.
now are pretty much summer episodes, right? Still. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Something that really stuck with me though, well, stuck with me for the last 24 hours, so it's not a long time. But I went to Savita's yesterday. We just hung out. We've had a few difficult conversations recently because there's a lot of pressure, I think, around the relationship over the fact that she has to find a sponsor job this year to get a visa, or she's
Yeah.
gonna have to move back to India. So it is. There's a lot of tough conversations that we're having, and it's fine. We're working our way around it. But I got up to leave her place yesterday, and I gave her a hug, and as I was hugging her, there was a mirror in front of me, and I could just see myself. And I looked at myself like while I was hugging her, and my eyes looked so sad. My eyes looked just so beaten up and lifeless. And I've seen this before
Yeah.
in people and friends even who have got to a certain age, even in their 20s, sometimes in their 30s, and life has just not gone their way. They haven't achieved what they want. They Life has beaten them up. Life has been hard on them, and you can see it in their eyes.
Yeah.
You can tell so much by someone's eyes and the life in their eyes. And I've seen it
Yeah.
where people. I've got a friend actually at the moment, one of my good friends at the moment, Joe. Who he said it himself. Like, he shows us photos of him when he was in his early to mid 20s, and he didn't look good. And he wouldn't mind me saying it because he says it himself, although he's probably not going to listen to this anyway. But he didn't look good. His eyes were just like droopy, and he looked sad the whole time in all of the photos. Now he looks 10 years younger, and he's 30. He looks so much younger than he did when he was in his early to mid 20s because he's found life, he's found joy in his life, and he focuses on that. Right now, obviously, I don't have so much of that in my life, and I just looked at myself and I was like, wow, I I don't look good. I need to get my shit together because I do not look good. And honestly, it's the same this morning. Like, I'm looking at myself in the camera when we logged on, and I was like, wow, my eyes just look lifeless. Like, they look sad right now, and that's an eye opener for me. I'm like, if I continue this way, I'm gonna end up like one of those people. I'm gonna age so quickly as well. I need to find that joy in my life again.
Yeah. How are you going to do that?
Taking action's the only way. I can talk to you about this. I can talk to Savita. I can talk to my mum. All the people in the world. I could fucking spend $1 million on talking to Tony Robbins, but I'm the only person that could take action, right?
You have to take fucking action, dude. You have
Yeah.
to. Even if it's something small. Like you have the steps, just fucking do it. Just
Yeah.
fucking do it.
Thanks, Nike. But yeah, I Nike sponsor me. But yeah, no, no, I know.
Shiloh.
I'm not gonna say I know what I need to do because I'm done with saying that shit. It's so fucking broken record, but I am the
Yeah.
only
Just
person.
do
I think that's
something.
also
Something
that's the hard
small.
part is that I know I'm the only one that can take action, and talking to you to get me pumped up
Yeah.
on a, for an hour every week, and talking to Savita about this and my mum and all these people, they get me fired up, but I'm the only one that can actually fucking get my shit together.
Yeah. And even if it's small, just do something. Just do something. Like and it's like what you said, like the mountain seems huge. Just one step every day. Just something little. Even if you're doing something small to get towards a goal every day, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Just something. And also acknowledge what you have done and acknowledge what you are doing. You know what I mean? Like you're posting on social media for this business, like
Yeah.
you are working on a business. That is work, and like, credit yourself for that. Yes, take action, and yes, do these steps, but also give yourself credit for what
Yeah.
you are doing as well. Because that's like how this positive self-talk starts, and then you feel more excited about
Yeah,
it, and then you want to
absolutely.
do more.
Yeah, I think
Just
one thing I
something.
didn't do
Just
this
something.
last week, as you can see, is get a haircut. As for that was one of my homeworks last week, and I didn't do it. Um, I don't know why I kept putting it off, and I think honestly, I do think
I'm writing it down.
from a mental perspective, it's actually quite a big thing. I look at myself right now, and I'm like, I don't look good. I look not unkempt, but I just look rough. I look messy.
You look
I
messy,
look
bro.
messy.
You look messy.
And
Clean
I
that shit
think
up.
if I get like a nice fresh trim, not necessarily a buzz cut because that will probably end my relationship. But if I get a nice fresh trim,
Yeah,
I'm
don't do
going
that.
to feel better and look better. And if I start with my hair, I can work my way down, right? Hair, eyes, maybe get a nose job as well. I can join you.
We'll get matching nose jobs. Do you want to get the same nose? Whose
My
nose
God,
do you want
Michael
to get?
Jackson.
Let's pick someone's nose.
God, yeah.
Voldemort.
Just remove it completely.
Just like slits
I
in the
wonder if people
nose.
do that.
It'll be the
Yeah, oh
new
my
look.
God.
We'll bring it.
Yeah,
We'll put it in fashion.
yeah.
We'll put it in style.
So, okay. Well,
Yeah,
I'll try and get a
crazy,
haircut today.
crazy.
We'll start today.
No,
Well, no,
you're
the
not
only
gonna
reason I say
try
that
to
is
get
because
a
I'm
haircut today.
incredibly busy today. So, we'll see. We'll see. It's also Savita's birthday on Saturday, and I have to look fresh for that, right? But she's
You
been
have to look
no,
fresh
but
for
how
her
you
birthday.
say
You
that, but then
have to look
she's been
fresh.
begging me not to get a haircut until after her birthday because she likes my hair like this.
Well, at least just get a little trim. If she doesn't want the buzz cut, fine, but at least just get something a little fresh. Because you just look like a muck.
Do you know what? It's 4 months yesterday since my last haircut, which is a long time. That's like COVID's length of time when you physically couldn't get a haircut. So, what's my excuse? There isn't one.
I don't know, but I think it will help. I think it will help. You hold a lot of energy
Yeah.
in your hair. Cut that shit out. That's why when I went through my breakup, I just cut all my fucking
Yeah.
hair off.
Yeah.
I cut it all off.
Well, that's why I want a buzz cut. I
Yeah.
want to just I want to do a Britney and just maybe a Britney is not the best way to put
Yeah.
it because Britney was having a fucking mental breakdown. I'm almost at that point, but it's a fresh start.
Oh my God. I mean, it really could be a Britney 2.0 situation. You never know.
I joked about it because I've done this
Oh
like
my
3
God.
times before, where I've had a buzz cut, and I've joked every time. Yeah, I've done a Britney, but it wasn't because I had a mental breakdown. Whereas this time,
It
we
might
call it
be
in the UK.
like
I don't know
low
if you
key.
guys do this. A mentee bee. Have you ever heard that before? Okay.
Nah.
Yeah, a cheeky mentee bee.
No. Dang.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
So
Oh boy.
yeah, big change coming. Big change coming. And you've been stepping
It's
into
happening.
your big change year, and I'm about to. I haven't
I
quite
have.
got started yet, but I've started, but I haven't hit the ground running. How are you feeling about the year
Yeah.
at the moment? Obviously, apart from the uncertainty and the booking things, how are you feeling about the start to the year?
Yeah. I'm feeling good. I'm like, we've talked about it a bunch, like managing work. I'm like actually proud of myself with how I'm managing everything, just like work wise, where I've literally tripled my workload for my business and then decreased my time. And it's like I'm not being present in my travels and I'm not sleeping, I'm working. And I'm like, somehow shit is getting done. I don't know how much is falling through the cracks, but we've talked about that a lot. Feeling good about that. It's something I do want to chat about with you, which we touched on yesterday, when I was texting you is as far as I talked about my boundaries around what I'm going to share on this podcast regarding my breakup, where I'm not going to talk about what happened or why it happened. Obviously, Josh knows everything. He knows more dirty details, I think, than probably anyone else, mainly because we talked every single week in real time for however many years. So Josh has known everything that's been happening this whole time. But I will say it was like my ex's birthday yesterday slash today, like yesterday here and yesterday here and today there. And mentally it's been tough. Like these have been, I think, the toughest days breakup wise and mentally dealing with that since the holidays, since before I left. Since I've been on my travels, things have been feeling great. I've also been like very involved in my other romantic entanglements, which we can also get into a bit. But yeah, breakup wise, yesterday and today were pretty tough. I also want to note that I had caffeine on an empty stomach yesterday and today as well, which I don't think is good for me. I know that tends to spike my feelings of anxiety. So I want to knock that shit off. I'm going to go this week with, or at least however many, yeah, I'm going to go this week with no caffeine, at least if no caffeine, at
Yeah.
least not on an empty stomach, because it's really spiked the feelings of anxiety. And I'm being very conscious to say feelings of anxiety and not my anxiety, because I don't want to identify as anxiety, but my feelings of anxiety typically get spiked with caffeine on an empty stomach. So I found myself the last 2 days really spiraling with my mental health, not just in regards to my breakup, but also in regards to one of my romantic entanglements with fucking Dr. Leprechaun and just dealing with all of that. But yeah, it's difficult when you have like for some people it's not the dates that remind them of their ex. For me, dates have always been very important. So like his birthday, our anniversary, or would have been our anniversary, is coming up next week, which I'll be distracted during, and I'll be with one of my romantic entanglements, but so it'll be good in that sense. But I do
Of
know it's going to
course. Yeah.
probably be a difficult day for me. And when the dates come up, it is, you think about, or at least I've been thinking about, oh, where was I in years past? I don't know what he's doing now. And frankly, I don't want to know. I can only imagine. And I think my imagination is probably better for my mental health at least. But it has been difficult. And that's something like this is the first time in a couple of months that like these kind of like sad feelings have come up around the relationship. Because for the most part, dealing with these feelings and thinking about the breakup has been every couple of days I'm remembering something in another way that, oh wow, thank God I'm out of that relationship. But the last 2 days have been tough because it's hard. It's impossible not
Of
to think
course.
about him
Of
on his
course, because
birthday.
it's,
It's
for the last
impossible.
7 years,
Yeah.
you would spend that day with him, right? And you would celebrate that day with him. And I guess it's the same for the anniversary coming up. It's not going to be easy, and those thoughts will come up, and that's okay. It's so fresh still, and I think you need to give yourself credit for that, and also how far you've come in the last month and a half, 2 months. There is going to be,
It's been
well,
it's been 3 months
yeah,
since he dropped the bomb. It's been about 2.5
okay,
months since
yeah.
we broke
So
up.
in the last 2, 3 months or so, you've come so far with how you're feeling, with your processing your emotions, from what I can see anyway, from what we've discussed. But there is still going to be that you're still grieving, and grieving is a process, and it will come and go, and it's not linear, is what I've always heard about grief. No one processes it the same way, and it does come and go. So, especially with milestones and birthdays and anniversaries and celebrations that you used to have with him, those feelings are going to come back. Of course they are. But with
Yeah.
time that will get better, and you will process through that. And it feels shitty now, but
Yeah.
it will get better over time.
Something I'm feeling really proud about with myself is that the last couple of days, and again, I don't know how much of this is my caffeine intake on an empty stomach and how much of this is like legitimate and how much of this is like the time of the month where I typically get upset. I don't know. It could be a combination of all of these things, but I've been experiencing a lot of emotional pain. Last night I was texting you that I was feeling like lonely with being in this hostel and everyone around me is so social, but I was feeling really isolated because I was just like working or whatever. And I feel better about that today, but it was my ex's birthday and just going through pain and stuff with my romantic entanglement where we're both emotionally attached to each other and have a lot of really strong feelings and we're both hooking up with other people, and it is, as logically as much as it makes sense, it is very painful to go through. And something I'm feeling really proud about is that I'm experiencing this pain and I'm experiencing anxiety. I'm experiencing feelings of sadness or loneliness, and I'm experiencing them and I'm recognizing them. And I'm like, okay, right now I'm experiencing XYZ emotion and that's coming up for me. And I just like am sitting and being present with that emotion and also seeing it as like a growth. Like automatically my brain is going, this is growth. Like feeling this pain, like there is no growth without pain. There is no learning without going through the stuff. Like it's not going to be rainbows and butterflies all the time. So I'm seeing this pain and these negative emotions as like signs that I'm growing, and that's an automatic reaction to them. And just, okay, be present with the feelings. It's very normal that they're coming up, and love these feelings because it means that I'm growing. And I'm feeling, as much as it hurts and it sucks, like I'm feeling very proud that I've gotten to that point of I can experience these negative things, but then see it automatically as an opportunity for growth and as a sign of growth as opposed to
Yeah.
dragging me down a
Yeah,
hole.
absolutely. I love that. I love that. And the whole there's no growth without pain is so relevant. It's so relevant to these emotional situations that we're all going to go through in life. Everyone goes through these. And I guess it's the same for me right now. I'm feeling a lot of pain, a lot of pain. And I
I was
feel
just about
like
to say
right
that.
now,
Yeah.
from a goal perspective, from a mental perspective, I probably am at rock bottom. I've been at rock bottom many times before, but this is different to those times, with the gambling and whatever. This is very, very different to that. But I am feeling a lot of pain
Yeah.
right now, and I am being forced into change because I'm feeling this pain, and I will grow after this pain. I've got to believe in that, because there is no
Yeah.
growth without pain, and these are probably just growing pains that I'm experiencing right now. So it's a really important
Yeah.
mindset to have that one.
Yeah, they are growing pains if we allow them to be, though. There's a very slippery slope between going through pain and allowing it to drag you into a hole and going through pain and being like, okay, this is growing pains. I'm going to allow this to optimize my growth. I'm going to allow it to push me towards growth and towards expansion, as opposed to, oh, I'm experiencing this pain. Let me put me in a fucking deeper hole. And these are, you're going through pain. I'm going through pain. It's just a matter of it's okay to go through this pain and it's very normal and it's a sign of growth and a sign of opportunity, but we have to see it as we have to allow it to help us expand and evolve as opposed to drag us down and feel like we're continue to put ourselves in a deeper and deeper hole and
Exactly.
rut.
Exactly.
So,
Which is I think
and that's
probably the
okay.
risk that I've been facing recently, that I am falling deeper and deeper into that hole. But that's a very important mindset shift that I need to make. That
That
I
you
am
are
making.
making.
That I've made.
This
Yeah,
language, yes. Yes. Like it's the
I
language.
am.
You're getting
I
tripped
am.
up on the
No, and
language
I
as
used to
well.
be so good at I swear by affirmations and that kind of thing. Exactly.
Neuroplasticity.
You know how much I believe in that stuff, and I've really fallen off with that. Really fallen off.
You had
Right.
fallen off of that.
I'm back on track. I'm back on track.
In the past. Yes, you're back on track. You're back on track. It's okay to experience the
Yeah,
things, just don't get
exactly.
stuck there. And experience them as it comes up. Life is painful. There's no getting around that, but don't
Yeah,
let it get you stuck
yeah,
there.
exactly. I think we're both on
Yeah.
the right track.
Wow. Yes, we are. And I have our homework, but
Yeah,
we gotta fucking do it,
yeah.
bro.
When you say
You gotta do it.
when
Like
you say
actually
we,
take
you mean
an action.
Josh. You've actually got to fucking do it, because I do my homework every week and you don't, Josh. So no, it's true.
I don't
It's
do my
true.
homework
But you
every
do it
week.
more
Come
than me.
on. There are some weeks I did, yeah, I didn't get it perfect this week, but I did some. Like I moved and I meditated and
Yeah,
more than I had previously. And that's a fucking
yeah,
win.
exactly,
That's a fucking win.
exactly. And we're gonna have win after win now.
Yeah.
Win after win. There's no losing anymore.
It's just small wins. It's just small wins. And celebrate the small wins. And they
Exactly.
compound on themselves. But that's the thing. It's like the negative self-talk will compound on itself and the wins and the positive self-talk will compound on themselves. It's just which
Yeah,
one do you fucking
exactly,
choose?
exactly. It's our choice.
Yeah. Dang, this was pretty I'm pretty I'm pretty
Yeah.
happy
Well,
and
I
fired
always
up.
am. I always am after these episodes. Always.
I know.
It
I
was
feel like
good.
this one
It was
was
good.
fire. Oh man. Oh man, oh man. Oh, fucking
I
love you.
love you
I
too. I love
fucking
you
love
too.
you.
I hope I get to see you this year.
What do
And
you mean
Burning
hope? I'm
Man.
doing European summer and Burning Man.
Good idea.
We'll catch you guys next week on
Bye.
the Mastermind Moments podcast. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and follow along on social media.
If you would like us to help you mastermind something in your life, please send us a message.
We'll see you next week on the Mastermind Moments podcast.